and stout. Your eyes fall in and your teeth fall out. Your brains come tumbling down your snout. Be merry, my friends, be merry.
Right, it's been a little while since we did a podcast.
Yeah, it has
What are we
been.
talking about this week?
So you've actually been on a little trip, haven't you, to Ireland?
Yes, I have.
And you met a really fantastic man.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. And also as well, I did the vigil,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
we'll
you
talk
did,
about.
yeah.
That was before we went. I'm due to do another one in a couple of weeks' time. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
We got a few things to talk about, but you especially wanted to talk about something first that, like...
Yeah, because, you know, I'd done a little bit of research into the chicken industry.
We were going to talk about, like, eggs and honey this week, weren't we? But,
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of confusion about eggs and honey. A lot of... there are people who claim they're vegan that... still eat eggs and honey, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they think it does no harm. But so we were going to talk about that. But when you were doing your research, you came up with a few things, didn't you? That you wanted to talk about the chickens.
Especially that it just opened up a can of worms, I say, you know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, I can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the chickens, so I know a lot of people would know about the conditions that they're kept in, like, you know, how they say that they're free range, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So chickens tend to lay, naturally, they'll lay more in the summer months than the winter. But what farmers actually do is they actually use like artificial lighting to manipulate the chickens into thinking that it's like summer all year round.
Right.
So they will produce pretty much once a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's roughly about 26 hours, every 26 hours. So what they will do is they will get them to produce as much as they can. Like, they just work them as machines, really.
As they do with all factory farm animals. Yeah.
But, I mean, it starts off from, because obviously we all know that, sadly, that the male chickens will get macerated and killed at birth just for being male, because they can't make money from them, sadly.
No.
So what they will do is with the chicks, they will actually debeak them. So what they'll do is they'll partially remove part of their beak just to stop them from pecking or fighting.
I have heard about this,
it's
actually.
really, really cruel, because they've got two methods of doing it. So they will use either a hot blade, the hot blade supposedly catalyzes the wound, stopping it from being like an open wound, but it's not always effective, so very often does have to get cut again further up. Or the second method that they use, they claim it's less painful, not painless, less painful, is they will use a laser to cut part of the beak away, which is just horrific, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
for the
I mean,
chickens?
it just shouldn't go on, should it? It just shouldn't happen. There's no two ways about it. It just shouldn't go on.
And other things that I found out is because where they get them to lay so often, so there's a lot of, it's quite a lot. It does take a toll on a chicken's body, you know?
Well, yeah, can you imagine a woman doing it every day? They're essentially, if you think about it, giving birth every day.
Well, yeah, because the reason why they do it is to lay the egg is for reproduction purposes.
Yeah, I know that, like, not necessarily every day it's a live one with a chickens, a potential chicken side, but still all the same. It's the same shape, same size.
Well, naturally, chickens are only supposed to lay between 15 to 20 times a day.
I was
year.
going to say.
A year. So the fact that they have bred them so much to and, you know, manipulated them into doing this. It's just crazy.
It's mad.
And it's quite sad because very often a hen will get egg bound where they just can't push the egg out. And then sadly, that's it for that chicken because it's not making the farmer any money. And also,
I think they die, do they?
Yeah, because they just can't push them out.
Yeah, I know that, like, when you get egg bound, like, because we've had, I hate to say it, but I hate caged birds, but foolishly we've had budgies in the past, haven't we? And they've got egg bound, and it's cruel, it's horrible. Yeah.
And not only
they've died, is what I mean. They died.
Yeah.
They've gone on to die. Yeah.
Chickens can actually have a prolapse because if they're pushing out an egg and their bodies are just abused so much that their bodies just give up and they just have this prolapse.
Yeah. So essentially, their organ is come out of their body.
Yeah, and it's just like tissue just hanging out there, and if that chicken isn't removed. Which very often, you know, these farmers have thousands of chickens.
They're not going to notice.
That chicken, sadly, other chickens will turn to cannibalism and they will just peck that chicken to death because they just see, you know, the redness and
it's sad, isn't it?
Tissue.
It's
Yeah.
just horrible. And anybody who eats eggs is supporting that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, because as well, it takes such a toll on that hen's body just to produce these eggs because it takes most of their body's storage of calcium. So that chicken is left with hardly any calcium nutrient and they're very often deficient and they have brittle bones as well. So that's
a lose-lose situation, really, isn't it? Yeah. I know I didn't ever think about it before, but it was Joe from Viva said to us, who runs our local Viva. She said to us, didn't she, that when a chicken lays an egg, it actually hurts them.
Well, yeah, because
I didn't even think about that.
If you think about it, because that it's just like, you know, as a woman, you'll be able to hopefully be able to sympathise with this because obviously you have a period, if you know what I mean. And although it takes, it can take 26 hours for this chicken to relay a new egg. The actual pushing of that egg does take about a minute for that chicken to push an egg out.
Well, if you think about it, like I said, it's like pushing out a baby, really, every day, isn't it?
And do you know what was really sad to find out about these chickens is because like us humans, chickens obviously have feelings too, but they, like us women, they get broody, and very often when they do lay an egg, they will get broody, whether fertilised or not. They will get broody and they'll want that egg to be fertilised. And sometimes when that egg is fertilised, they can actually communicate with that unhatched chick inside the egg because they will hear that unhatched chick cry and they will sit on that egg for comfort, to comfort their unhatched chick.
Yeah.
They have feelings too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they do, but it's the old thing again, isn't it? People don't understand that they do have feelings. So it's awful.
Another thing I found out about chickens was so coming into the winter months was that like most animals, they will start to shed to grow more fur or to cope in the colder weather. So they will actually start to naturally shed to grow thicker, warmer feathers just to be able to cope in the colder months naturally. And when they do this, they tend to lay a little bit less, and they'll naturally lay a little bit less in the winter months anyways because of less daylight. But what farmers actually do to speed up this process, they will deliberately starve the chickens so they lose their feathers, so they will grow more feathers to get them back onto the track of laying again.
That's awful. That is really... the whole thing is just cruel. The whole thing. So if you're a vegan who claims you're vegan and still eat eggs, just hear what Rochelle has just said and tell me whether you think that's all right.
Well, yeah, you're basically paying for this abuse.
Yeah, you are. It's just cruel. Really horrible.
You know, I like others. I loved my egg before I was vegan and before I knew about all this. I used to love my runny eggs. You know, we all used to love with it, fry up your runny egg, dip your soldiers in, whatever. But I choose I don't want the animal abuse, so I choose no animal abuse over that. You know,
Definitely.
you know, why should I be selfish and have that? You know.
Yeah, totally. I just don't think people are aware, and I'm sure you can do without eggs. I kind of find them gross now. Actually,
Yeah.
the thought of eating an egg is it just makes me feel sick. I did used to enjoy eggs, but
again, like other industries of, you know, animal abuse, it's a sexist industry as well, because these pure hens, these women hens, they just get abused so much. You know,
they're just bred to lay.
just machines.
Yeah, as machines again. Yeah. I don't know whether it is sexist, because if you think about it, the poor males, what happens to them? So,
But I think if I knew that was my life ahead of me, I think that's the way that I you know, your life isn't worth living, is it really?
No, it isn't.
Because, you know, these poor hens, once they can't lay, I mean, once they can't to do what, like, become a machine of what they want to, they get cold. You know, they're no good.
It's
Just
awful.
so sad.
Yeah. Right. Well, we'll move on to another sad thing. Is I went to a vigil.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what a vigil is basically you go and protest outside the slaughterhouse, a slaughterhouse. I went to FR Drury's, that is a place called, I think it's Twickenham, out near Wootton Bassett's, Swindon,
It's
Wiltshire.
a famous one, isn't it? It was about the scandal of the horse meat, wasn't it?
That's right. The horses, the way the horses were being killed and what have you.
Yeah.
I think they've had a few scandals there, to be quite honest. I know there was a Panorama investigation going back a few years ago. All I will say is about it, it was a very sad day. We saw a few animals go in. You can see them on the screen now. I shared some footage that somebody else had taken a few weeks ago at the beginning. I had to go for myself to see what for myself what went on, and there's this horrible little man that wears a red coat, and I don't know how he can do it. Well, any of them can do their jobs. It was horrible seeing the animals go in, knowing where they're going to go. You could hear the cows crying. Obviously, probably the point of slaughter.
And then it goes silent, doesn't
And then
it?
silent. The place smelt. You could smell it. When I come home, I had to get a shower. I just felt like I stunk from head
But
to
it's
toe.
not even
I
that
wasn't
far.
even in there.
It's not even that far from a housing estate.
No. Houses all around it. And you kind of think, why would you want to live somewhere like that? I mean, it was only a small one. There are bigger ones, lots
But
bigger
you
ones.
felt
than
like
that.
you had to go because to see it firsthand, because like a lot of the times that non-vegans think that, oh, these are just isolated incidents.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They think you're just over-exaggerating your putting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you're
they
just
don't
showing
realise-
the worst bits. But this is happens day in, day out. This is the norm for them.
Well, Steph, who did the vigils, she does Viva as well, doesn't she? She showed me this little bit, like one of the fences has got a hole in. So you go to this hole and you look through, and it's like the place where all they prepare the meat and all the effluent, so all the crap bits come out, and you see the skins of sheep, like with the wool on. It's just awful, and the blood still attached to it, and bits of flesh, and awful, just horrible. And I think if people went along and saw what, even just that, without even going into the slaughterhouse, just the smell, the thought of what happens, the sound, the whole atmosphere, I think people would stop eating. Well, they should. If you don't stop eating meat, you've got no heart at all.
How many people, when they say you've got your butchers in town and they've got the van outside and you can see like the pigs and that all hung up. How many people, non-vegans, drive past that van and be like, I can't look at that?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh, I can't look at that. Oh, it's awful." So there you go. Right. Anything else you wanted to talk about before I talk about Ireland?
I'm always up for talking about Ireland. I love Ireland.
I know. We used to live there, didn't we? About how long have we been back? About
It's over 10 years.
14 years we've been back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to live in a place called Roscommon, midwest of Ireland. That's the Republic of Ireland. And so we very often go back there. And I will talk about Sentient Rights Ireland in a minute. But we went back there to stay. And, of course, your dad's now vegan.
Yes.
So we were eating completely vegan this time, which is a little bit of a challenge in Ireland. We didn't actually go out for anything to eat. We cooked at home. But what we did get was some burgers, and they were by Sons of Butchers. And as far as I know, they are actually Sons of Butchers. So I think they are a couple of lads who have decided to go vegan or do a vegan
sound
butchers.
like a band, doesn't it? A bit
Sons
like
of Butchers, yeah, like Sons of Anarchy, Sons of Butchers, yeah. They're rebelling. Yeah, Sons of Butchers. I will look them up, but I can wholly recommend. Dad had the Bluff Burgers, which are a bit like.
Oh, good name.
They'd be a bit like your Beyond Burger, so they're called a Bluff Burger.
That's a good name, though. I think
it is.
Isn't it?
I mean, the packaging on this is a little bit Halloweeny if you look on the screen now. But yeah, it is a good name though. Bluff Burger. And then I had the Garden Veg Burger because I prefer something that's a little less meaty.
Yeah, more veggie based.
Yeah, more veggie. And your dad really loved it, and I thought it was really nice.
Can you get them over here, or is it just Ireland at the moment?
You can't. Well, I don't think you can anyway. But I think I'm going to get in contact with them and see if they would ever.
Whereabouts in Ireland? Was it Super Values or Tesco's or?
I think it was Tesco.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure we got them from Tesco in Ireland. So yeah, if you're ever over there, give them a go. But also as well, they had some plant-based white pudding.
Oh yes.
And it's by a company called Rudd's. And I didn't have any because it's not gluten-free. Mm-hmm. But Dad had it and he thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, any of the food over there, he said he really enjoyed because there were a couple of other sausages and things that he liked. And
that is very surprising coming from a predominantly farming country, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So anyway, I move on to a group called Sentient Rights Ireland. I've often seen their Facebook posts and often wondered what they're all about. They're actually a political party over in Ireland. What do they call themselves? Let me have a look. I have written it down because I want to get this right. It's Ireland's, this is what they say on their website, Ireland's political party for animal rights, human rights and environment. And their vision, our vision, is to encourage a world where all animals are respected and treated as sentient beings with rights in law that secure their ability to live a life free from exploitation and abuse, where animals have rights and speciesism, that is, discrimination against all animals, is ended. So I wholly recommend them.
Yeah.
Look on their website. But I did an interview with them.
Yeah.
Well, with Denis, the founder.
And it's a really good interview.
Yeah. So I'll play you it was such a long interview. We actually met him at 2:00 in the afternoon, and we didn't finish talking to him till about 5:30. So, but yeah, the interview goes on for well over an hour. So we'll play half of it now, and then maybe save the other half till next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy. Here's the interview. Right, so we're here today interviewing Denis. I don't know how to say your last name, sorry.
Nealis.
Nealis. Denis Nealis from Sentient Rights Ireland. Now, I've come to interview you because I want to know more about it. I've seen your Facebook posts, and I'm sure many people in England have, many people in Britain have. So we want to know more about sentient rights. But what I want to know first, the question we ask everybody is why you went vegan, yourself personally.
Okay, so I went vegan in 2017 because I read an article on a page called Animal Matters. It's an American page, about 1 million followers, and I had been, like all things on Facebook, I had been looking at animal pages, and then more and more comes down your way, the algorithm, and it just stunned me. I was reading what happened to male chicks in the egg industry.
Right.
It was just so upsetting. I went vegan there and then. I went over to the fridge and cleared it out. It was quite dramatic.
It was literally like that?
Like that. I didn't do any research. I said, that's it, I'm going vegan. I can't support this anymore. I had a kind of a soft spot for chicks in that I remember a fair day in Newport in County Mayo where I grew up. We all got the day off school. I was in primary school, and there was a guy selling boxes of little chicks. And in my innocence, I thought they were all males because all my toys and everything else was males.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was him or me, but we decided anyway that the chicks would probably be thirsty. So I went back to the house, and my mother gave me a bucket of water and a jug. And I spent all day pouring water in on top of them to stop them from being thirsty. And at the end of the day, he said, hold your hands out. And he gave me a little chick, and I ran all the way home with it. And so I had this affinity for little chicks, these little yellow guys. And so when I read what happened to them in the egg industry, I was just so distraught over this. I mean, it's terrible to think that, and it's all unnecessary, because we know categorically there's, almost 1 billion people living a healthy life and thriving on a plant-based diet, that animal agriculture is totally and utterly unnecessary. It serves no purpose whatsoever. And that it's really bad to bring animals into the world with the view of killing them, but to bring them into the world with the view of killing them as they hatch the day they're born is even more outrageous. And more barbaric. And I think as a civilization, or an attempt at a civilization, we really have to look at these things. And for me, my immediate reaction was clear the fridge out. I can't support this anymore, and I was now vegan. So that's that story.
Do you live by yourself?
I live by myself, with the exception of Mr. Timothy Cat.
Oh, right, a cat.
Mr. Timothy Goodboy. And I have a daughter, and I've just recently become a grandfather.
Oh, right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely.
Lydia, thank you.
Yeah. Are they vegan or are they not? Not followed your path?
My daughter wasn't brought up vegan. They're trying. They lived in London, herself and her partner, and I would say, or she would say, we're plant-based during the week. I would say it was more to do with climate. And from our research and different nutritionists talking to us, that a lot of people are going plant-based, probably because of the climate or for their health.
Yeah.
It's now the net result is the same thing. You're not eating animal products, but the amount of people that absolutely go vegan for the animals is another cohort of people. But I would say most people are doing that, and certainly we welcome anybody to make the move in that direction.
Sure, yeah.
It's all welcome.
It's all good. It
All
all
good,
goes
yeah,
the same direction, like you say. So how did Sentient Rights Ireland come about? How long have they been going?
Well, Sentient Rights Ireland came about in that I went vegan in 2017, and then there was a documentary on RTE, that's the local television here, state-run television. It was about what happens in the greyhound industry. It was an expose. It was in 2019, and the name of the documentary was called Running for Their Lives, and it was undercover work. And I had been, previous to that, I had been a climate activist. As far back as 2008, I was aware of the climate And I was also beginning to change what I was eating at that stage, and investigating things like Linda McCarthy foods, to see this alternative that I could live. And a friend of mine was vegetarian, so I'd been kind of introduced to it. But I was certainly a climate activist, and Greta Thunberg was instrumental in that. I was just impressed by how one person can make a difference, and from one person's sole acts one day a week outside the Parliament in Sweden, build from that stems a whole worldwide organisation for climate, and brings out awareness. So I joined Extinction Rebellion here in Galway, and I joined One Future here in Ireland. They're connected to Friends of the Earth, and the climate bill was coming up in 2020, I think it was, or 2021, and I got involved in that. But from 2019 onwards, I then added animal activism, and I already had done a demo with Extinction Rebellion. It was quite funny because I went in to do it. This was just pre-COVID, and when I went in to do the demo, it was supposed to be about climate, but it was actually a peace movement demo.
Yeah.
So we were all dressed up in these white boiler suits. It was actually the first demo I ever did on the street. And when I got the flyers in my hand, I was reading them, I realised the subject matter was different. So I queried it with the guy that was organising. He says, well, we're doing that today. He says, we'll do the climate another day. I said, well, I'm here now, I might as well do it. But I have to say, I was very nervous, and I was afraid of my life. Somebody would come down the street and recognise me and say something like, gee, Denis, have you joined a cult or something? Because we're here in these white forensic operators' jackets. Anyway, once I got over that, I decided, I don't know what's the social anxiety or whatever, but I do think you find out who you are when you do demos, when you go on the street and start talking to people. And instead of having heroes in our lives, become your own hero and go out and do it. I think that's what's really important. And you learn more about yourself. This is not to be, these demos that we do now are not aggressive. We're in good form, we're in good mood, and we try and be nice to people and talk to people in the best way possible.
Sure.
and inform them. So for me, that's the way to go. So that's how I got into activism.
Yeah. So are you the founder of Sentient Rights Ireland then?
I am, yes.
You are?
I am.
That's brilliant.
First of all, I realised after about a year of animal activism that it was going to be the same thing again. Turkeys at Christmas, lambs in the spring, the different things that come in, all the single issues, all the things that everybody gets upset about for a few weeks and then they forget about until the next year comes along. And after 1 year I realised I can't go through all this again. There really has to be a solution to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's why for me it had to be rights. It had to be an end to the use of animals, not trying to regulate how we use them. And the phrase comes into my mind again and again, there is no right way to do a wrong thing. So there's no, for me, it's not about trying to lessen the damage done. It has to stop. That's the only way. That is the solution, and it's so right across so many fronts. So I set up a group. It was originally called Animal Liberation Party Ireland. And that was in June. So by September, we had a few members and we all decided to meet up in person in Athlone in the Prince of Wales Hotel. There were 6 of us there. And it was decided at the time that we would continue as a political party, even though it was floated that we might become a grassroots group, but we voted on that. We totally.
Why a political? Because that was going to be my next question. Why a political party? Do you feel like you have more clout?
I feel for a political party, as opposed to a grassroots party, a political party gets more recognition on the radio, on the television, in newsprint, and come election time, you actually do get your few minutes to talk to camera if there's a debate somewhere, so you get there. Whereas a grassroots group, would have to work very hard to get that same kind of exposure.
Yeah.
So the person who's standing for election with the logo, this is the Sentient
I was going to
Rights
say,
Ireland.
you actually get people stand for election.
We have already, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Do you get people elected? Have you had anyone elected?
At the moment, our expectation wouldn't be to get somebody to an elected state. We would be looking to raise awareness. Obviously, if they do get plenty of votes and they get elected, we would be very happy about that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's the expectation. I think a lot of people start off into politics or into activism, and their expectations are very high. They want to change everything immediately. That's not necessarily what happens. So we have to think what our expectations are and what we can reasonably achieve with a little bit of hard work and a little bit of luck and meeting other good people. So from there, that was the September at the first meeting. So by Christmas then we changed the name from Animal Liberation Party Ireland to Sentient Rights Ireland.
Sure.
And we have been, I suppose, we've plenty of people wanted to join. I suppose we've a bit of work to do in the administration of it and to try and become a registered a political party. We're not fully registered at the moment. So we're working on that, and the next round of elections at local government level are in 2029, and we hope to be a fully fledged political party by then. So that's our ambition. And
Good.
I have no doubt that we will achieve that.
I think you will.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
by
you.
sheer determination, I think. That's great.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if we look at all the other political parties, I'm not trying to be disparaging of them anywhere. They have various names, but they occupy themselves with a lot of issues that aren't necessarily rights. And there's so much things going on, and animals are under so much pressure, and then we have climate, and then you have human rights entangled in it. I always think of that David A. Nybert book, Animal Rights, Human Rights, Entanglements of Oppression and Liberation. And I think that's very true, because we see where countries have no animal rights or no animal laws, human oppression is at work there. And of course, animal activism depends on our human rights. You know, for example, we have to have free association in a public place in a peaceful way. That is a human right. So you have to have your human rights to do your animal activism. So I see both of them being equally important. And and I think for an activist, for an animal activist, it has to be rights. It has to be an end to this. And I think it is achievable. And I think what makes it more viable now, the achievement of rights, the abolition of the use of animals and ending speciesism, is the rise of veganism. More and more people are going vegan, especially in Western societies, and of course you have the old societies, like countries like India, where lots of, through religion, vegetarianism, veganism has come up. So everywhere is happening, and then you have a second range of people, where you have children who are born into a vegan household. They're starting to live, so that's they're starting to live vegan, so that's a second cohort of people who are becoming vegan. And then we know from the fantastic work by Professor Dr. Andrew Knight about how plant-based formula food for cats is viable, and the outcome is much better than ordinary animal food for cats. So this is a third way that we can move forward, and the same with dogs. Even the veterinary society in the UK have recommended plant-based formula food for dogs.
Yeah.
So this is three ways we can move animal rights forward, like no use of animal products. And I think with all that in mind, and if we could just, as a movement, take the emphasis off welfare and move forward on rights, I do think it is very, very much achievable. You're putting climate into the mix, you put in human rights, you put all the other things you put in health, you put in world peace, feeding the world, all those things, make them more known. I think the average person, once they're presented with all those facts, would find it very hard to deny them.
Yeah, it's selling it more, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Totally agree.
I think so. If we look at our situation here in Ireland, I'm talking now research that has come our way, which is from the wonderful James O'Donovan, who's part of the Vegan Society of Ireland, and we work with James and others in a group called Transformation Ireland. It's to get animal farmers transition from farming to other land uses.
Right, yeah.
And we've hooked up with stock-free farming in the UK, and we're aware of trailblazers like Ian Tolhurst Organic, and the Vegan Organic Network. They're up around Manchester, and also Jimmy Vidale out of Canada, Quebec. He's with the North American, this is a bit of a mouthful, North American Organic Veganic Certification Standard. They're connected to the Humane Party over there. So we're looking at all those people for inspiration and leads. And the Stock Free Farming UK have now changed their name to Stock Free Farming UK and Ireland. So we're quite hopeful that we can open up another front. So we're not just working at consumer level, which is where all the emphasis has been on veganism up to now. So we're now working at the production level, and I think that's very important.
Yeah.
So a lot of the research that we go by here in Ireland comes from James O'Donovan, and he's given us facts and figures in that there's only 60 field growers here left in Ireland of vegetables, and we import 80% of all our fruit and vegetables.
Really?
Yes, that's the imbalance. A lot of the raising of animals here in Ireland for farming is for export, and in Ireland we violently slaughter 120 million farmed animals a year. That's on a population of 5 million people.
Sorry, can you just repeat that again? 120 million?
120 million farm animals across 4 animal types. I'm not talking about fish or anything else, just 4 animal types.
Sure.
Chickens, cows, pigs and sheep.
Yeah.
Across a population of 5 million people. So it's 20 times the population, whereas the world average is 12 times. So we're twice the world average. So this is the outrageous figure. And even at that, the research James has given us, it tells us that the nutrient value that we import is higher than the nutrient value we export. So it just shows you that the nutrients are there in the fruit and veg. We do not need, again and again, when we look at the overview of the whole picture, we do not need animal products. It would be more viable. When we look at it from a food security point of view, this country is not food secure. It's a verdant land. Anyone who comes to Ireland can see that. Even Johnny Cash gave us the 40 Shades of Green. But we're not food secure here. We're not self-sufficient either. We're really like a third world country when it comes to food. It's just incredible. So the other thing that happens here in Ireland is that we import about 3.3 million tonnes of grain to feed the farmed animals, mostly from Argentina and Brazil. And we're constantly told here that animals are grass-fed. The fact is that this 3.3 million tonnes comes from predominantly Argentina and Brazil, the Amazon area. And when we look at, just say, Brazil on its own, because it's happening to all indigenous populations, whereas there's deforestation going on, their lands are being stolen. There's been about 2,000 indigenous land defenders murdered in Brazil, especially in the time of Bolsonaro, defending their land. This land is being clear-felled, and then the ranchers move in, and then the monocrop production to feed farm animals. Over 33% of grain grown goes to feed farm animals, and we have our percentage here in Ireland, 3.3 million imported. We grow 1.7 million, So that's a total of 5 million tonnes grain to feed farm animals. If all
crazy.
it's absolutely bonkers. This
Yeah.
industry is nuts. An average farm animal will only convert 8% of all the nutrients, all the plant-based nutrients they consume. They only convert 8% into animal protein. So this is why this, I mean, if you were to go to a bank manager and talk about a shrinkage of 92%, you just wouldn't get a loan, you wouldn't get any help.
No,
This
you wouldn't.
industry is nuts. So we really need to get all this messaging out about it. If we look at the grant money here in Ireland that goes to animal agriculture, it's 83%, and that's European-wide as well. And yet we only get about 16% of our nutrients. That's the person that's on an average Western meat-eating diet. So 83% grant funding for a 16% return is not acceptable.
No, it's not.
That's why this is important, to get all these facts and figures out to people and show them the economic gain that could be made locally here in Ireland, in every parish, to every farm income. If they take their social life and their work life, how they could cut down on their hours, there will be much less work required. It would just happen so much easier. There are so many advantages to this. It's economic, it's ethical, it's moral, it's and we look at the ecology, we look at climate. That would all fall into place as well. Emissions would drop. Emissions from agriculture in Ireland are running at about 38%. So if we add in a loading of 10% for deforestation, we're coming up very close to 50% from one industry.
Really?
And it's not being tackled. We had here in Ireland in 2023, it was done by Teagasc. That's the government agency that advises farmers. They did what they called the Dublin Declaration in 2023. That was immediately debunked by scientists like James Poore from the Oxford University Research Report and several others. Several of the scientists who were on the plinth that day did not reveal their connection with the big ag companies like Cargill and there's 4 or 5 others, I just can't bring their names to mind now. They were either working directly for them or they were consultants to them, and they had left that off their website until it was pointed out to them, and then mysteriously it appeared back on again. So that research is it just doesn't add up, anybody who looks at it. So that's why what we need definitively is a transition from animal agriculture to plant-based growing in the veganic mode for human consumption. That is the other thing that tells me animal rights is achievable. So that answers that question, but there's a lot of strands to it all.
Yeah, for sure. Do you get many farmers transition?
We haven't fully launched this group yet. We've had one person that's interested. This will be a slow burner at the moment. We've identified where.
This is countrywide as well. Yeah.
We've identified where the issue is. It's in the grants. So if 83% is going to animal agriculture, it only leaves a very small percentage going to growing. And then what you had was a push for organic growing here in Ireland. But organic farming or organic agriculture has been hijacked by animal agriculture. In that, they're talking about organic pigs, organic chickens, organic eggs. So it's kind of a mix-up between what's organic and what's biological.
Yeah.
And this all came about in the years 20 to 24, this rise of organic animal farming. And they're mixing up things like regenerative farming in there, and they're talking about organic, that it's a higher welfare situation. So all these, they're not real. They're more kind of marketing strategies, advertising. And again, to go back to animal rights, this is why animal welfare doesn't work for animals. It works against animals in that it's giving animal agriculture the opportunity to use welfare or high welfare as a marketing strategy or an advertising strategy. So you're actually colluding with them as opposed to helping the animals. So animal welfare, in my mind, and I have no doubt about it, does not help animals. It helps the use of animals. It helps put a kind of a gloss over it that you hide all the terribleness.
That was a really good interview.
It was. I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The time went so quick.
Yeah.
And I could have talked to him for hours. Well, I say talk, I was just listening.
Yeah, and I'm quite envious that I wasn't there, really.
I know. He did actually send you something. Look, I don't know whether you can see this. Sent some vegan badges.
Oh, that's really sweet.
So,
thank you, Denis.
So you're going to put it on?
Yeah, I'll pop it on.
Wear it with pride. I haven't got mine on, actually. But, yeah. Yeah, I do like their vision. And I do like their policies.
Yeah.
And I do like, I know you said you liked it, that
quote that he said.
Yeah, there's no right way to do a wrong thing.
I think that's so beautiful, I think. Yeah.
And taking the emphasis off of welfare and make it more about animal rights, that rather than, because if you emphasise the welfare, then it makes it okay.
Yeah.
For all the things that go on, really.
Yeah,
it's not, as long as they do it in a...
How he says that they manipulate the term organic farming, you know, and that sort of thing. Because I think they're so clever, because it's all just for a marketing tactic, really, for them. Just as, for them, it's just to make money, isn't it, you know? But I just think that's, you know, abuse in itself. So
yeah, because when you say organic, what's the first thing you sort of think of is like green fields and fluffy clouds and
it's amazing how
grass-fed
much
cows
that they actually get imported, isn't it? Something like 300 odd tons, 300 million tons from sort of Brazil and that sort of thing, just to feed
them. Yeah, the grain. I know. What surprised me is the amount of animals that are slaughtered every year over there. Bearing in mind that Ireland only has a population of about 5 million.
And it's like 6 times the amount, isn't it?
It's 120 million animals every year.
That's That, what's 5 and 120 into 5.
Oh my God. I can't think. Quick, get your calculator.
I can do this by my head, because 5 20s is 100, so another 14.
I don't think he said that. I think he did say the amount. Is it?
I thought you...
Get your calculator on your phone.
It is 40. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my
it's
God,
14.
I'm so useless at maths. 5s. Oh, I can hear your dad screaming at us now at how much it was. Hang on, that's not
14.
24,
sorry. 24.
Is it? No, 5's. Yeah, it is 24. Yeah, of course it is.
I don't know why I said 14 instead of 20.
Yeah. 24. 24 times.
God, I look like a Wally.
So do I. I can't do it in my head.
It is about 6 o'clock in the evening, and we are a bit sleep deprived.
Yeah. You make it sound like we sleep all day usually.
Yeah.
No, but it is. Without laughing about it, it is terrible.
Yeah.
What I liked though about their is that they've made themselves, or they're making themselves, a political party.
Yeah.
To get more standing.
Yeah, by 2029, isn't it?
Yeah. Put it this way, I think Denis, if anybody can turn it around in Ireland, I think he can, just by sheer determination.
Yeah, because I like how he's not setting his heights too high at the moment, is he? Because of they just want to encourage and get the message out there, don't they?
Yeah, and I also like the fact that they are trying to do it through trying to get farmers to transition, Transformation Ireland, trying to get them to change.
And like you say, instead of working against them, work with them.
Yeah, because just saying, well, we're going to stop eating animals, that's it, it's the end of your livelihood. I mean, obviously they want to still carry on earning, don't they? So
yeah, everyone's got to make a living.
Yeah, so planting vegetables and fruits, which I think Ireland's probably got a good climate for it now.
Yeah. Because he did say that's where he started off, wasn't it, with climate change back in 2008, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's done it all really, because he's gone from coming from a farming background. Because I know he said that he has actually, I think he's been to slaughterhouse or seen the slaughter of animals. So he's seen it all from a farming background, done the climate thing, and now also doing the animal rights thing. So he's a very intelligent man, very intelligent.
He knows all his facts and figures from the top of his head.
Oh, good God, yeah.
Yeah, he's a very knowledgeable man.
Yeah, very. I was really impressed.
And then there's me. I have all my notes and
same here.
Just for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he reeled off facts and figures, and I was just so impressed with what he came out with.
Yeah.
But I do wholeheartedly urge you to check out their website. Their webinars are very interesting, actually. But check it out, check them all out, and let us know what you think. But I think they're very interesting. Put it this way, I think if put it this way, I never thought I'd see no smoking in pubs in Ireland. I know it's a different thing altogether, but it's quite possible if for them to try and get farmers to go plant-based.
Yeah, definitely.
If they can make it so pubs in Ireland can be smoke-free, I think anything's achievable over there.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, if farmers can still make their money, then why not? You know, if the profit is still there for them, then, you know, without the abuse, then it's a win-win, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, I think so. So check out Sentient Rights Ireland. But in the meantime, next week, we will have the second part of the interview.
Yeah,
which
part
is,
2.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I suppose we better...
To be continued.
Yes. But we better say goodbye for now. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him.
Him?
Him. You don't know the two Ronnies, do you?
I was thinking, I know this is the 21st century, and we shouldn't assume genders, but I'm your daughter.
Yeah. No, it used to be the two Ronnies.
Oh.
Look it up. Look up the two Ronnies.
Yeah.
He used to say it's good night from me and it's good night. I think it was that anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I've just ruined it now.
We're not going to bed just yet. It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
Can we have dinner first?
Yeah, we might. After we've slept all day, apparently. Yeah, anyway. Right.
We always like to end it on a nice note.
We do. Well, I was going to say, if you could go out and do anything today, when you get up, after you've watched this, go and do something kind.
Yeah.
Do something kind. Because Denis Nealis he's doing something really kind and worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sentient Rights Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
don't eat eggs.
Don't eat eggs, that's for sure. Don't encourage them.
Yeah.
And other than that, just be kind. Go out and do one kind thing today.
And be happy.
And be happy.
Live your best life.
Live your best life, as Paul Youde would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul.
Anyway, we'll see you next time.